Welcome back everyone. Last month when the Volkan Combat Armor Bundle came out, I did a quick review of it and I feel since that I was a bit hasty as I hadn't tried all of the equipment out in all of their possibilities and situations. And I found out recently whilst farming the stuffed turtle that it actually does all glow in the dark, and I know the trailer showed this, but I just thought that was dressed up to make it look good and make us buy it. So yes, now that I know that we have a second bundle that glows in the dark, I thought I had to do a fun versus video with the Retrowave, which up until now has been the only other neon bundle that I'm aware of. And straight away I will award points to the Retrowave bundle for the naming of the weapons and equipment. It's so much more creative than the Combat Armor bundle, which is basically just everything prefixed with Combat Armor. Yes, the outfit though of the Volkan Combat Armor bundle is actually amazing. It's one of the best I've seen, and I much prefer it to the Retrowave Knight Rider outfit. The 80s were very good at a lot of things, and I'm very nostalgic for that era, but fashion wasn't one of them. And this outfit to me is not great. I don't like it. Now the buggies, the combat buggy for the Volkan Combat Armor bundle is really nice looking, and as I said before in my previous video, I had just said that this was lovely, nice yellow detailing. But as you can see, as it starts getting dusky, all that yellow detailing on the buggy and on the weapons themselves does start to come into its own. And yes, when you go into full-on darkness, it looks fantastic. There you can see I'm cycling through all of the weapons, and on the interior it just looks amazing. I'm very pleased with the interior of the buggy at night, and it makes it so much more interesting being in the cockpit. So the Retrowave paint job is called the Speedmaster Turbo. Again, much more inspired in the naming of the bundle. I really like it. The actual paint job itself though is so bright that it actually looks incredibly neon even during the day. And the pink and the purple there is a bit garish too. Not a big fan of the buggy skin, I must say. There we go, it's getting dusky now, cycling through the weapons. You can see it starts getting brighter and brighter, and by the time you get into the evening it is full on in your face neon. And yeah, I don't know, that might appeal to some, but I prefer the understated combat armor bundle. It glows in the dark, but it doesn't look quite as in your face as this. I mean, look, the guy's even got glow in the dark laces on his boots. Okay, yeah, as you can tell, so far I'm not overly impressed with the looks of the Retrowave bundle. Now, the Volkan Combat Sword, I was definitely not very fair on this when I first got my hands on it. Although it does give you the option of using single-handed weapons for the base weapons, that unfortunately minuses the damage of this particular blueprint. Yes, at the time I didn't have a katana. But it turns out that if you use a katana, that is the ideal base weapon for the Volkan sword. And also it's classed as a two-handed weapon, so if you are on Legend like myself, you really do need to make sure you allocate some points to the two-handed weapon to get the most out of this. Yes, now this thing is so much better. The first time I crafted one of these, it was using a weak-ass machete, and yeah, with the minus damage that caused as well, I was like, what is this rubbish? It looks great, but it's just not very effective. However, as you can see, now I've maxed out my legend points on two-handed weapons, and I'm using a pretty decent base katana. This thing slices and dices like no other weapon I've got in my arsenal. I mean, if you're quick enough, you could chop them into 3 pieces before they even hit the ground. And moving on to the wonderfully named Blade Max, which is basically just a very beautiful machete. And it's not going to do anything that any of your best machetes aren't already doing for you. It just looks nice, to be honest. Yeah, you can pretty much use any machete as a base weapon, but obviously the stronger your base weapon, the stronger the weapon's going to be. It's a bit hit and miss. Sometimes it will just bounce straight off, but yeah, on your second attempt it will take off the head. Like I said, it's basically just a machete. Moving on to the firearms, we'll start with the Volkan Combat Pistol, which is a beautiful looking handgun, and yeah, it's got an extended magazine that will hold 20 bullets, so despite the burst fire, loosing off 3 rounds every time you tap the trigger, you're not going to run out too quickly, no more than your average 6 or 7 shooter. And yeah, the effects are quite impressive. I love the exploding head animations. They don't really give that with every weapon, and this one has got quite quite a satisfying head pop. And it also will stop the big guys. Yeah, I mean, I loosed off about 6 shots there, but you could tell that it was already dead with the first 3. And the next weapon, another great name for the Retrowave pack, Vindicator 2000. Yeah, it looks a bit like a plastic toy, but it does have some pretty good stopping power. It's not exactly a scientific comparison to the other pistol, this one. I did use a slightly stronger base weapon. However, this thing does seem to have a one-shot stoppage of pretty much anything. And I've saved the big guns till last, starting with the Volkan Combat Assault Rifle, which comes with a built-in silencer and an extended clip again, like the pistol. And yeah, I love this weapon. Right off the bat, I love this one because even with the basic police assault rifle I had at the time, just being able to sharpshoot these guys from a distance is a really, really nice addition. And it's pretty accurate too, as you can see. That was quite a distance there, and it's still got a pretty clean headshot. Every now and again it won't quite meet its target, but on the whole it is very, very accurate, and I love it. Yes, plus also being a silenced weapon, it won't attract the virals, which cannot be said, I'm afraid, for the next weapon, the Volkatronics. Again, another daft name, but incredible. And probably inspired by the fact that this is also a Volkan weapon, if you see the detail there on the top of the rifle. Yes, getting back to the noise, this being far from silenced, it actually produces quite a loud echo, especially used in open spaces. And as you can see, the virals are literally on you within seconds of starting to use this thing, although it is quite effective at dispatching of them. And it's also the only rifle that I'm aware of in Dying Light that fires electric bullets. So if you get any of these guys standing in a cluster, the lightning effect will actually damage the surrounding zombies as well. It won't always kill them, but a couple of shots will. And the closer you get with this thing, the greater the lightning effect will be. And it's pretty good at popping heads as well, pretty close distances. It's less effective the further away you are. So the Volkan assault rifle is definitely the winner when it comes to long range accuracy. However, the Volkatronics does come into its own when you get up close and personal with these guys. You really do see the light show this thing can produce from the electric bullets in a dark alley as well, which, it's amazing, to be honest. And yeah, you don't really need a torch once you're firing this thing off. But don't get too close, because the electrical effect there will actually damage you as well. So, in summary, I love the Volkan Combat Armor Pack. The Retrowave pack, I feel, is a little bit gimmicky. Doesn't really add anything to my arsenal other than the Volkatronics rifle, which, I have to say, I love the electric bullets, and I hope that you can get some more variations on bullets in future bundles if they do any. Maybe in Dying Light 2, who knows? Fingers crossed. So anyway, yeah, I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, because it really helps my channel and motivates me to carry on. Thank you very much, guys.